Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print, and we go back to the novels in this episode to the final Han Solo adventure novel by Brian Daley, and that is Han Solo and the Lost Legacy. Now, again, this is probably one of the most common ways you can get it in this omnibus here. That's kind of what I have. Of course, you can get them single as well. So there's tons of different options to read this. So you have plenty of different outlets. But basically, this story, The Lost Legacy, takes place during one BBY, so a year before the Battle of Yavin. And so it's during the OG Han Solo trilogy. And so, or I'm sorry, the A.C. Crispin Han Solo trilogy, pardon me. And so Han and Chewie are trying to basically get credits. Because they're always hunting credits, right? Han and Chewie can never have enough credits, so they're always looking for credits. Seems like that's always what it is. But anyways, they decide to take up treasure hunting, because why not? And they find the lost treasure of Zem the Despot. Now, Galandro, who is kind of the reoccurring bad guy in these books, is on Han's tail, and he's trying to get revenge on Han. And so, honestly, with this book, and this is something that I feel like I haven't been saying much with the other two novels in this series, but honestly, the characters in this book really do feel like, they're characters. So what I mean by that is they feel like they're written by George. They feel like it's pretty much how they're written in the movies, which again is great, right? Because most of us have probably seen the movies first. So. And here's the thing, Galandro is a really good villain. I've really, over the years of reading these books, have really gotten to enjoy the character. He's definitely an intimidating villain. He's scary. He's menacing. And so it makes you really care about that the antagonist and the protagonist relationship and how they do things. So personally, I really like that. This is actually my favorite of the Brian Daley novels. This is my favorite of the trilogy, is The Lost Legacy, just because again it feels more like Star Wars, and it really kind of sets up Han going to work for Jabba the Hutt, and then of course getting that whole story in motion for the rest of the A.C. Crispin trilogy, which is in those final books, and then obviously setting Han up to where we see him in episode 4. So with that said, I really do enjoy this. Now, as a side note here, Hungary, gosh, I can't talk. Hungary basically began making their own Han Solo books, basically as sequels to the Brian Daley stuff. And so there's 4 books in that series. Now, I do have them. You are able to get them online. I have them digitally, so I have them in my computer saved as PDFs. And you can pick them up. I think they're pretty easy to get online. Physical copies, I'm sure you can find them online. But I just have them digitally. They're very easily able to, you're able to get them very easily. And but the problem is that I have not been able to translate them because they were written in Hungarian. So they're just sitting on my computer. I can't read them. Isn't that horrible? There's 4 EU books on my computer, but I can't read them because I can't speak Hungarian. I've considered it. I know my buddy Matt Wilkins was considering it as well. I know he has reached out several times for someone who can speak Hungarian, who can translate these darn books, because I know I and many other EU fans would definitely like to read them. But basically what happened is that they were just making these books without Lucasfilm's permission. And so Lucasfilm found out and basically shut them down and was like, you can't do that. We haven't given you permission to do that. So it's just kind of interesting that there are sequels to this, but we can't read them. So just an interesting thing. And again, if you want them, they're out there. So what do I think about overall this whole trilogy? Honestly, I really do like the Brian Daley trilogy. I think it's very fun. I think it's very entertaining. For me, I don't think it's as good as AC Crispin's. That's just me. I know there are going to be some big Brian Daley fans out there who might disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Um, and I don't hate Brian Daley's stuff. I think it's very good. I think it's fun action and adventure stories. Just for me, AC Crispin felt like she was actually developing Han more, and again, kind of really building him up to where we see him in A New Hope and in the Cantina. So I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give the wrong idea that I'm bashing Brian Daley, because I think he's an incredible writer, and this is very good. Is this an essential read? It's the question we always ask on the show, right? Is this an essential read? No, it's not. If you're going to read a Han Solo trilogy, and you're going to pick between this one or the other, I would pick the AC Crispin one. That's just me. But it is still very good. It is still a very fun trilogy of novels that are just, again, they're just fun and action-packed and adventure, and you're just excited to go along for the ride. Every novel is just so exciting to read, and so I every time I reread it, I get just as much of enjoyment out of it just as I did when I first read them. So I would encourage you, yes, definitely check them out still, but are they essential to your overall Star Wars reading? No, they are not. So anyways, folks, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you so much, and see you next time with another video.